Okay, good morning. Good morning. Yes, Madip, it's just you and I now. I think other people will be joining us very soon. We're going to start to honor our time and honor those who are going to be on the recording. So, all right. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to November edition of the Leaders Priority Meetup. Yes, last month we didn't have a meetup because last month was really full. In fact, last month clashed the date. We had a time conflict with Live to Lead, so we couldn't have the meetup in October. So here we are in November, and at the end of the year, I like to talk about goals. I like to talk about developing your growth plan. I'd like to talk about, preparing for the next year, the upcoming year. And that's why we're doing this. Developing a growth plan is a topic we discussed in November or December, because I think it is really essential that we set the intention for the following year really early. You don't want to wait until January to start setting the intention for 2023. No, you need to get everything set up before the end of the year, so you're ready to, start the year and, with high energy and really start growing from January the 1st. Okay, so welcome once again to the Leaders Priority Meetup. This is our monthly gathering of leaders. We come together every first Thursday of the month to learn, to grow, to sharpen our skills, to just network and interact so that we can become better leaders of ourselves first and better leaders of others. So this is a safe space for leaders. We are here to talk about what we're going through, our challenges, to learn from each other and to grow together, because I believe leaders always learn from each other. Leaders are learners, and we are going to learn together. We're going to share together. Please feel free to share, to contribute, and to ask questions as we go along. So, welcome to those who just joined us. Let me start by sharing the slides. Okay. Yeah. Presenter mode. All right, so there we are. For those of us on Facebook, please post your comments, questions in the chat, and we're going to look at them as we go along. So today's topic, developing a growth plan. What is really a growth plan and how are you doing it? What can we learn from each other? A little bit about me. My name is Kate Onokomaya, and I am the founder and lead coach at Exponential Growth Academy. That's a coaching and training firm here in Port Harcourt, Nigeria. That's where we are headquartered. We serve clients locally, in person, and virtually around the world. I'm also an executive program leader with the Maxwell Leadership Certified Team and a President's Advisory Council member. I am a coach, speaker, and trainer, and a DISC human behavior consultant. And also a people acuity guide, which is a strengths company. It's a strengths program where I teach leaders and professionals to hone their strengths and to maximize their strengths. I am a GPS transformation specialist and a blueprint for success facilitator. And of course, My greatest accomplishment, I'm a wife and mother of 2 boys and a daughter. So that's a bit about me. I'm not going to unpack everything there right now, but we will get to know each other as we move along. Now, John Maxwell, my mentor, says growth is the only guarantee that tomorrow is going to be better. Really, growth is a guarantee, and it is the only guarantee that tomorrow is going to be better. And my growth, my life, as I've engaged in intentional growth over the years, has proven this statement to be so true. I can attest to this 100%. My growth has led me to places that I never thought I would get to, and I've met so many people that I never really dreamed I would meet in a very short while because of my growth. So my growth has taken me to places and people that have changed my life over the years, and I'm sure yours too. So we're going to talk about that. We'll be sharing in a few minutes. Let's just unpack a few things. Okay. And John also says growth doesn't just happen. That is the law of intentionality. Growth must be intentional. So if you want to grow, you need to be intentional. You need to develop plans and strategies to make that possible. You don't just improve over time. You don't get better with time. No, the only thing that comes with time is age. So you can get old over time, you can grow old, but you don't grow with time. Growth doesn't just happen. It never does. It never will. So let's not expect it to happen. Okay. So why personal growth? Why must we grow? When we grow, there are several reasons we grow, and we're going to talk about each of them. When you grow, you connect with, there's a part of us that knows that we are capable of so much more. I mean, there's something always calling us from inside. Something is always telling you that, look, you can do better than this. You can be better than this. I believe we're always seeking for a higher expression, and we're always seeking for expansion. That's how we are made. I believe that's how humans are made. If we're not expanding, if we're not getting better, there's always a sense of discomfort. You feel it from inside that, oh, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I believe I'm capable of so much more, but for most people, they don't know how to start. They don't know who to talk to. They don't even know what that thing is that is calling them from the inside. But they know that, look, something is there that is telling me I need to be better than the way I am, than who I am. There's a better part, there's a better self that I need to express. There's a better version of myself that I need to express. It's always calling us from inside. And why personal growth? We grow because we need to develop ourselves. If you're a business owner or a career professional, you grow because you need to become a better business owner. You need to become a better employee or team member. And when we grow ourselves, we grow our businesses, we grow our careers, and also we grow because we want to improve the quality of thinking we bring into our different roles, the roles that we play. You see that we play so many roles in life, not just business. If you are a mother, you are a sister, you are a team member, you are a brother, a sister. We play so many different roles in life, and to improve the quality of thinking we bring into those roles, we need to grow. And we need to grow so that we can attract growth-focused people into our circle. And of course, if we do not grow, we can't become better leaders. So we need to grow to become better leaders of ourselves first, and better leaders of others. And of course, you will serve the people you are called to serve much, much better when you engage in personal growth and development. So it is really key that we engage in growth. Now, I want to stop the recording briefly so we can share. We can share, why do you grow? Why do you grow? Let's share. Let me call a few people. Welcome to everyone just joining us. I see Ade, I see Tunde, I see, yeah, welcome. So you're free to open your. Good to have you with us today. So
I couldn't wait to get on board and learn something from you, my friend.
Oh, so good, so good, so good. Amazing. Thank you. So I want to hear your perspective. What compels you to grow? What is making you to, what is it that is compelling you to engage in personal growth and development?
Yeah. Can I answer?
Yes, please.
Well, for me, I think the mistake for most of us is because when we are children, we don't have to do nothing. You give them food, and then we sleep, and then we wake up, and we grow. The following year, the same thing. They eat, cry, sleep, and grow. So most of us think we are going to do the same as adults, and it doesn't work like that. That's why we have a lot of grown-ups who are still derelicts in their way. So I think growth has to be intentional. And I don't think anyone can grow on their own because you cannot see the frame if you are the one in the picture. So everyone who wants to grow, I think it's got to be intentional. And then you got to look for somebody who can see what you are not seeing. It doesn't matter how, at what level you are. And so that's why I think we have to continue on a personal growth plan and do it intentionally.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Ade. That's so true. I mean, I love that quote. You cannot see the picture when you are in the frame. So we need people to help us to grow. That is so true. And really, when we're children, we just think life is just happening to us. We're just moving with the time. But as we grow older, we realize that we need to improve ourselves. We need to, when that physical growth stops. So we're not, that means we're not really talking about physical growth here, although that is part of it. So there's so much to it. It's about, there's so many areas that we go. We're going to look at the growth areas in a few minutes. Thank you, Ade, for that wonderful share. Yes. Who else wants to share? What's compelling you to grow? Mandy?
Yeah, thank you. This Tunde Stephen.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pleasure being here and getting to partake of your wealth of experience and knowledge. Just from what you have said, I believe the need for growth personally, I think it also helps to have the reality of being fulfilled, because man is naturally made with the fact that you need to grow. If we come from the biblical perspective, the dominion mandate is a process of growth. He said, he blessed them, be fruitful, multiply, replenish, subdue. Those are growth processes. Dominion don't just happen. It's a process of growth that leads to that peak of having been in dominion. So I believe the reason why I want to grow is to be personally fulfilled. Then secondly, I want to grow because there are certain things you can't handle if you remain a babe. You remain a child. You might have an inheritance. Even legally, there is an age you get to before you can begin to take possession of what is yours. And if you don't grow to that place, to that age, or to that maturity, you can't even undo what is meant for you. So growth for me becomes inevitable to be able to handle the things that is meant for me to handle. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Pastor. Yes, that's so great. The reality of being full, you have to, when you grow, you are fulfilled. You are fulfilled. I love that. And I love that perspective of dominion. There's so many things. There are heights you cannot attain that if you don't improve, if you don't grow mentally, spiritually, and in so many other areas. Awesome. Mandy, if you wanted to share.
Yeah, hi, good morning again, Kate. Thank you. And it's always a pleasure meeting up with you and your group. Thanks again for what I have learned so far this morning. One of my reasons for growing, the first one of them is to become a better version of myself. And then a host of others, which are some of the things you've mentioned up here, to be able to connect with people of higher level. I remember from my training with our mentor, John Maxwell, he says, everything worthwhile is uphill. So, I mean, there's no way you get up here without growing. So I want to get up to see the things that are up there. I want to connect with the people who are up there. So that's one of the reasons why I want to grow. I want to grow to be able to grow everything else that I do, to think better and to be able to expand in the right direction. So that's my motivation for wanting to grow.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. All right. So let's move. Let's move to this. So growth goals. Let's look at some of the growth goals. So growth goals, because that's one thing we do when you're preparing a growth plan. You need to look at your growth goals. Where do you need to grow? Which areas are important to you? Because that's the first step. You need to identify where you need to grow and what is important to you at that time. And you get direction from your purpose, your vision, and your values. So what is your purpose? What is your vision? And what are your values? These three areas, they help us to identify growth areas and growth goals as we prepare our growth plan. So our growth is in line with our passion, it's in line with our purpose, it's in line with our vision, it's in line with our values. It's very important. We're not going to get into the purpose question or the vision question and the values question. There's another session that we talk about this purpose, vision, and values that we use. That session comes at the beginning of the year where we really get into that so that we can hone in on our purpose and vision. So let's look at some of the growth areas that we need to focus on, because this is going to help us to develop our growth plan for not just for 2023, but for maybe the next 5 to 10 years. Because once we put these systems in place, once we have this strategy, we can replicate it. Now, there are 6 growth areas. 6 growth areas: spiritual growth, physical and mental well-being, meaningful growth and development, financial well-being, business and career satisfaction, and then we have relationship with self and others. So these are areas that we really need to improve ourselves in. And when we're developing our growth plan, it's important that we align them to these 6 core areas, because when our growth is aligned to these core areas, then we have a meaningful life, and we have a more fulfilled life, and we are more rounded in the different areas of our lives. And of course, like Ade mentioned, fulfillment happens. Okay, so to help us develop a growth plan, we're going to think into these 6 growth areas, and we're going to think together. Let's go. So let's look at the first area, which is spiritual growth. Now, when we're thinking about spiritual growth, it means really developing your spirit. We all know that, well, most of us know that we are essentially spirit beings. Man is a spirit. Yes, we have a physical body, but we are spirit, and we need to develop that spiritual, the spirit inside. That spirit, that's our core, that's who we really are. That's why I chose this as the first area of growth. And to help us, I'm going to be asking some questions. Please take note of the questions, because this will help you as you also design your growth plan. So in this area, spiritual growth, the first question I ask myself is, what is my most important goal in this area right now? What is my most important goal in this area right now? Where do I seem to get stuck? And what is the growth opportunity that could get me unstuck or move forward? How do I get in my own way? What fear, habit, distractions? So I'm going to answer the questions the way I answer them. So what is my most important goal in this area in my life right now? My life right now, my most important goal is to help us men. This year, I said I was going to help 10 people to, have a closer relationship with God. So that was my most important goal in this area right now. And another goal I have in this area is to be consistent when it comes to studying, because I'm a Christian and I read God's word. The Bible is my standard, so I read the Bible. So I want to be consistent in the study of the Bible. Every day, at least study 3 chapters of the Bible, at least. And where do I seem to get stuck? My primary, like I said, primarily for me is to help 10 people to develop a closer walk with God this year. So in that area where I seem to get stuck is I am so busy with other things. I'm so busy with developing myself, making sure that I am good. And sometimes I have this feeling like, oh, I'm not really doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing. So how do I think I can help another person to do that? So that's how I get stuck in this area sometimes. And what is the growth opportunity that could get me unstuck? That can help me move forward. Something that I identified earlier that can help me move forward is to get an accountability partner. Currently, I do not have an accountability partner in this area. So I believe if I get an accountability partner in this specific area of growth, I mean, someone that I can meet regularly, daily, and we talk about it. You can call it a spiritual coach or spiritual mentor. That's aside from my pastor. Yeah, aside from my pastor and my fellowship group. But I think if I get someone that I'm working with really closely in this area, that is totally dedicated to me and we're holding each other accountable, I can move forward. I can get unstuck and move forward. So how do I get in my own way? What's fear, habit, or distractions? Yeah, distractions are everywhere. So what fear, habit gets in the way? For me, it's the habit of not sticking to, let's say, my 3 chapters a day. So sometimes I'll say, okay, I'm going to read 3 chapters a day, but I get distracted. Something happens, I get distracted, and I end up not doing that. So who or what could help me? What can help me in this area is I can space myself and say, okay, every day is 3 chapters. I can do 1 in the morning, really take my time and study well, 1 in the afternoon, 1 in the evening. And of course, I have my accountability partner to help me in this area. So what's the next wisest step I can take in this area? And when will I take it? So the next wisest step I can take in this area is to get an accountability partner. And I can do that. Today is Thursday. I can do that by Saturday. Yes, Saturday. So I need to think of who I want as an accountability partner in this area. I'm already thinking of someone right now, so I need to contact that person and ask them to be my accountability partner in this area. So this is how I answer these questions for myself. As you notice, these are self-coaching questions that we can all ask ourselves as we develop our growth plan. So ask yourself, for 2023, what is my most important goal in this area of my life? And where do I seem to get unstuck? What growth opportunities? Ask yourself these questions and document your answers to the questions, because that is so key. When we document our answers to the questions, we can go back, look at them, and really, ensure that we answered them correctly. So does that make sense? Is that something that you think you can do? Is this an area of growth that you need to look at? You need to also look at. So leaders, let me hear from you. Yes, can open your mic. Share.
Keith, if I can, I have to say, these are well thought out questions, and I want to thank you, because as you are answering these questions for yourself, and actually I was asking myself the same questions, and I see that I get stuck, and growth happens out of the comfort zone. And so as I'm going down and I'm thinking, I'm writing this down, the way you are answering the question, I'm answering for myself. And I see that even I need help. And thank you so much for sharing. And thank you for leading by showing us how you are going to act with this. Even you have a room to grow, and that you are still growing. So how can we not grow? I appreciate this, and I have my answers all written down. Thank you very much.
Awesome, great. Thank you so much, Ade. Yes, that's good, because we are all growing and we all have a room. I like what John Maxwell, our mentor, keeps saying. He keeps saying there is no expert anywhere. And although people call him expert, he doesn't consider himself an expert because he's still growing. And I believe as leaders, we need to be authentic. We are also growing, and we have struggles. Everyone has struggles in different areas, and we need to help each other out. Thank you, Ade. And thank you for taking our time to answer the questions too. Okay, checking the chat. Who wants to share? Well, Ade, let me ask you a question. What is your most important goal in this area right now?
Well, my most important goal, the month of October and November, I was going. I started, and I have not left chapter 3, and I have no accountability partner. This was my goal for myself. I got stuck halfway because I have other things that I'm doing for what I really need to do. And so as and I couldn't create that habit of reading one chapter a day. For 30 days. I literally failed, and I didn't remember how much I failed until this morning when we are going through.
Awesome.
For the whole of November, I'm going to read, study a chapter in Revelation every day. And I am getting up right now. I already wrote down the name of an accountability partner that I know will haunt me if I did not. And I will ask this person to call me every day and ask me, what did I read yesterday? And what was it about? And I think that will help me, to grow. You see, this is what coaching does. This is what having somebody on your side who can actually lead you and just talk about things like that. This is what it does. Sometimes we don't realize what we need until moments like this. So I'm really, I think by the end of the month or the next time when I attend one of your workshops, if you ask me, I will probably tell you that yes, I did, because now I realize what I have to do.
Awesome. Awesome. That's great. That's great. And, you know, like we've all noticed, even coaches need a coach. But sometimes you cannot answer all these questions by yourself. You need someone to guide you, to help you bring out these answers authentically. Yeah, that's so good. Let's move to the second area. Or is there someone else who wants to contribute here before we move? You can just raise your hand if you want to. Yeah.
Kate, I want to share
Okay.
something. Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, thank you so much. And the last person who just spoke, thank you so much as well. And what I want to say is, you have, through what you just shared, shown that everybody is vulnerable. I mean, everyone is dealing with something, because these are things which you struggle with, and sometimes you can't tell people that I made these laws and I can't meet up to them. But when I hear other people, and especially people like you who are leadership experts, sort of say they still struggle to lead themselves, then I'm a little bit consoled. And then I still have hope as well to say there's something to be done, because you have just outlined here a couple of things to be done. One of them, which is getting an accountability partner for spiritual growth. That's something I had never thought of. I know I'll have accountability partners for other areas in life, but I know I have my pastor and all of that, but I didn't think that I needed an accountability partner for that, which is one thing I've learned this morning, and which I think I should take action immediately in that direction. So that has been great information for me, and I think it's going to be of great help, because spiritual growth is one of the areas which I have been focusing and praying on recently. So thank you.
Awesome. Great. And one thing that I've realized for myself is I always start with small steps. Let me start with the smallest next step, and then we can grow from that. So I always grow from the smallest next step. Okay, so let's move. The second area is our physical and mental well-being. Physical and mental well-being. And of course, you use the same questions, to help us go through this area. Now, your physical and mental well-being is so important, because if you're not mentally fit, it's so you cannot achieve a lot in life. So we need to, after your spiritual wellness, you need to consider your mental well-being, because mental well-being is key. And if you're not mentally sound, it will also affect your physical well-being. It will also affect so many areas, maybe your career, your profession, whatever you do. So we need to also get our minds in top shape. Now, for me, my most important goal in this area, and just like I shared earlier, is to be consistent with my mental fitness exercise and my physical exercise. Because of course, there's physical exercise and there's mental exercise, things that we need to do to boost our mental well-being, and things that we need to do to boost our physical well-being. Physical exercise, of course, creating movement, intentional movement in my days. That is so crucial, to make sure that every day I intentionally move, I am active, and I am really eating well, drinking a lot of water, and taking fruits. Fruits, that's an area where I don't like a lot of fruits. So I need to find the one that I love, and that's what I do. I find the fruits that I love and I eat them. That's what I eat. So taking a lot of fruits is not something that is not a growth, that is a growth area in my life. Taking fruits and drinking plenty of water is also a growth area in my life. So I don't always remember to drink the right quantity of water. I drink, but I don't drink the right quantity of water every single day. So that's an area where I need to improve, drinking a lot of water, the right quantity on a daily basis, and then eating a lot of foods. When it comes to mental well-being, I have 15 minutes of mental exercise that I do every single day, and I need consistency in that area. The good thing is, for my mental well-being, I already have 3 accountability partners in that area that are helping me. And we have accountability sessions every fortnight, once in 2 weeks. And we just had one once in 2 weeks, and it's always on a Monday. So we just had one session this week on Monday. That was so insightful. That session just helped me to unload a lot of things and to get back on track with my mental well-being. So here again, remember, I mentioned accountability partners under spiritual well-being, and I'm still saying it here. Ade said something about we cannot grow alone. We need people that will help us as we grow. Yes, you can try, but it's going to take you more effort, and it's going to take a lot more from you than when you have partners, when you have companions along the way. So it's so important that we get companions. This could come in the form of coaches, it could be mentors, it could be maybe friends who are growing and friends who are also focused on becoming the best versions of themselves. It could be in the form of family, but it has to be people who are intentional about growing, about becoming the best versions of themselves. So physical well-being, mental well-being, if you're exercising or you're engaged in some form of intentional movements every day, that is so good. So when we answer the question, what is my most important goal in this area right now? So you can answer in the same way. Where do you get unstuck? What is the growth opportunity? How can you move forward? And how can you get in your own way? And another thing I have realized is when we answer these questions in a group or with someone, it actually helps us to bring out our best answers. So you can take the time, sit down in a quiet place and do this work. This is deep work, this is internal work, and this is something that we need to do as we move into the new year. The reason we're holding this session in November is because I want to get this out of the way before December. And I also recommend that you block out at least 3 days and sit with yourself or sit with your coach or mentor or a friend and get this out of the way, and then set some goals in these areas. So what are you going to do next year? What is your most important goal in these areas for 2023? And you answer the questions following. Okay, meaningful growth and development. That's the next area, meaningful growth and development. So when it comes to your growth, what are you doing to improve yourself? What is your most important goal in this area? So we're going to go around the room and share what is, I move faster. So what is your most important goal in this area? Let's share. No, we can't share the West be open.
Well, if you want me to start,
Okay.
I have to say something to what you said before. Kate, you said you are doing this in November because you want to get it out of the way before December. What I actually realize is in Today Matters, I think John Maxwell said things about if you want a better result next year, you got to start working on it like 90 days ahead. If you want a better result next year.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm hearing myself. So I believe like for most of us who always have this New Year resolution or who want to do a new thing next year, if we want something new to happen next year, this is the time to really start. And what this process is making me realize is we all need coaches. Yeah, we know that. But we all need somebody who can really help us. And if you have that person from now, success next year might be very important. So when you say meaningful growth and development, for my goal this year, going into next year, is to actually help enough people to grow, understanding that if I can do that, I will grow myself. And I've never been able to achieve that because I really didn't listen to my coach on those lines. But last month, 2 months ago, I decided to. One of our friend, Paul, told me something a while ago. He said, Ade, you need to get an assistant in every area that you want to do something. You need to have somebody to help you. I never did. But this time on my way out of US to Ethiopia, Kenya, Nigeria, I got an assistant. And oh my God, what difference does it make? I was actually able to impact over 742 people in 1 month because I have somebody who is able to help me to do that. I wouldn't have done that if I didn't have a coach. I wouldn't have been able to do that if he didn't say to me, you know what, based on everything we have talked about, this is what I need you to do. I also have to listen because sometimes you have a coach who advise you to do something. I mean, you can only bring a horse to the river, you can't force him to drink. And when we don't listen, we don't get the results we want to get. So I know what my growth area is, and I know growing, I'm having somebody to really look into what I cannot see helps me to be able to grow further. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Ade. That is so key. Listening to your coach, that's so key because the coach cannot do the work for you. The coach is there to coach you, to bring out your potential, but he cannot or she cannot do the work on your behalf. So we need to listen to our coaches, our mentors, as they guide us, as they help us through this area. And I'm happy you got an assistant to help you and you see the difference. It's always important because as a business owner, you cannot do everything on your own. You need people, you need to build a team. And that's so key, especially in the work that we do as coaches, as trainers. We need someone that can help us with the back end. If you don't have someone helping you with the back end, you will always struggle. So that is so key. I'm glad you listened. Who else wants to share meaningful growth and development? What is your most important goal in this area? What are you learning and what do you want to achieve in 2023? You can unmute yourself and share. Welcome, BC, PBA, you're so welcome. Thank you for joining. Okay, so let me call on Joshua. Joshua, can you share with us in this area? How would you answer these questions? Yes, Joshua, can you share with us in this area? You can unmute yourself, share. Okay, can't hear Joshua. PBA, welcome. Please, can you all hear me? Can someone confirm if you can hear me? I hope it's not me.
No, it's not you. We can hear you very clearly.
Okay, great. Yeah, PBA, great to have you with us.
Thank you very much. I'm just joining, so I just wanted to get in the spirit mood first before I'm able to share.
Okay.
So I just waiting. Yeah.
Awesome. So what is your most important goal in this area, in your personal growth, your growth and development for next year?
Okay, looking at it now, I think not looking at it now. I think majorly I need to do a mental reset of my mind as to, well, I think I was sharing something with you this morning about the issue of numbers and people. So that's one area I need to work on to be able to see one as 1,000 and be able to see 1,000 as one.
Right. Right. I know that that's something, as you know, I just remember something I read in Stephen Covey's book. I think it's a principle-centered leadership. Yes, I think, yes, that's where I saw that. And he said something about always reaching out for the one, like, yes, you could reaching out for one instead of going after the 99. But sometimes we're chasing the 99 when there is a one that we need to reach out to, and that one can actually lead us to the 99. So it's like, I think he used the story of, the shepherd that lost one sheep and left the 99 to go after the one. So he said, there is always a one in your audience. There's always a one among the people you're reaching out to. There is always a one. So if we focus on the one instead of the 99, we can always achieve success and more fulfillment. So that's something that, as you're sharing, it just came to me. And when that's something that also helped me to shift my perspective, because I was at the point where I was looking at success numbers to mean success. And I realized that, success is not always in the numbers. Yes, success can come from one. So it's not always in the numbers. And I like that you're shifting. That's an area you want to grow in next year. Where do you seem to get unstuck? Share with us. Just like you should share with us, where do you seem to get unstuck in this area, PPA?
Getting I think my background is for me, my background, I think, yeah, my background is a major issue. I work in places where numbers count a lot. I work in places where the number of people means a whole lot. That's the major side. So I think, like you rightly said, that principle. In fact, I just wrote it down because it's a principle straight up from the Bible. Actually, 99 and 1. You have 99, one gets missing. You leave the 99 and go for the one. So I think that's what I need to break there. But that's the place. The numbers means a lot. The numbers makes you happier. The numbers gets you more excited. The numbers give you an impression that you are actually doing better.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I know, and numbers make us feel good, right? When we have the numbers, we are happy. We think, okay, but this is really a shift that is happening for me also at almost at the same time. As I'm learning and I'm growing, I'm realizing that success is not always in the numbers, and that is a major shift for me also. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Who wants to share in the area of meaningful growth and development? What is your most important goal in this area of life right now? Can have one more person share before we move.
Smoking.
Oh, good afternoon, sir. That's Ade, right? Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Well, Kate is back.
Thank you.
Yes, I am. Apologies. Pardon me. I got knocked out, but I'm back. Hey, Tina. Good to have you with us. Oh, hi, Wumi. Good to see you.
Thank you. It's great. I was just picked my phone and like, oh, okay, let me just join.
I'm glad you joined because I really I would love to hear your perspectives. All of us have perspectives on this. Let me get back to the screen share and let's talk about this really important area, meaningful growth and development. We're looking at the 6 core areas where we need to focus on when it comes to our growth. So this is meaningful growth and development. So let's share as leaders, what are you working on right now? What is important to you in this area?
It is interesting because about the time I joined in was when you just you called on PBA, and I was just giggling here because the analogy you used of the 99 and the 1, believe me, that was my reflection this morning. So just hearing you talk about it, I was like, okay, so was that why I was pointed to Facebook and I saw your whatever, and I was actually looking for the link how to join. I was like, okay, this is interesting. I was, like I said, that was my reflection this morning from the Bible, and one of the things that really stood out for me there was that we're all important. Everyone is important, but also thinking about that Jesus had to leave the 99 to focus on the 1. And I just said to myself, wow, this is really a great teaching and lesson this morning, because the thing I got from it is that, yes, everybody is important. And but instead of looking at, maybe people who I think, in my mind, I think are the ones who are ready, I think are the ones who I should go after. What about those people who maybe are feeling really, disconnected, those people who feel lost, those people who feel abandoned? Why not focus energy, even if it's only one person, you're able to actually help get out of that situation? And immediately my mind went to your post about GYI, about the lady, how you helped to build a better family relationship. And incidentally, I had about the same experience 2 weeks ago, someone who was trying to commit suicide. And so all of that thought was what in my mind this morning before I jumped in, and I saw hear your own perspective. I hear PBA's perspective, and in my mind, I'm just telling myself, okay, right, this is great teaching here, great shifting of and awareness that what am I doing? Who am I spending my time with? What am I thinking or beating myself so hard on that it's not working? What about one thing that is working?
Yeah.
In the face of the world, look working, but if that's where I'm being channeled to go, why not, go there? It just be one, but that one can do so much more than the hundreds or the thousands that I want to. So for me, it's not about what I want to, it's where am I being pulled to? What do I need to do? Who
Okay.
sorry. Okay, Kate,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think
Okay.
I lost you. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Tina. Yeah. Thank you so much. I love that. But where am I really being pulled to? Because really, success numbers is good. It makes us feel good, but success is not always in the numbers. Thank you for that wonderful share. Yeah, and it just amazes me how sometimes there is this alignment, there's this connect where you're meditating on something and then you keep seeing that thing everywhere you go. That's so awesome. Okay, so who wants to share? One more person, then we move to the other areas. Okay, Ade's hand is raised. Yes, Ade, please.
Yeah, Kate, I just wanted when you and PBA were talking, and you actually started talking about the go after the one. There is a that I had that came to my mind. I think that was what changed my perspective before, because when I first set up my goal, I think my purpose, what I said I wanted to do, I know people who came to me who say, who the hell you think you are? What's going to happen? And I remember this story about a grandfather that was walking on the beach with his grandson. And there were thousands of starfishes on the shores. And every time they are talking, the father goes down, he pick up one, he throw it back in the sea. And the grandson said, Granddad, there are literally thousands of starfishes. I mean, what does it matter? And when the father went down and he picked up another one, before he threw back in the sea, he showed it to the son. He said, you see, to this one, it really matters. And he threw that single one back in the sea. What I got from it is, you know what? Yeah, we want the numbers. It's all great. But think about who rules a business, who runs a business, one person, who runs a state, one person, who runs a country, one person. What if we are able to impact that one person positively? Imagine how much people they will be able to influence. So often, it's not how many people we're actually able to influence or impact in our life. It's the one person that is important that's going to be able to do the work. I mean, look at what Jesus did with 12 people. With 12 people, look at what, and they are not even 12 educated people either. I mean, they are all kind of different people, but when they came together, see what happened. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, that's good. If we can reach out to that one person who has the influence to reach out to thousands, that's and millions even. That's amazing. Awesome. Okay, so let's move on to the next area. Quick, which is financial well-being. So what is my most important goal in this area of my life right now? Of course, we all want to make more money, but there's so much we can do when we have more money. What is my most important goal in this area? Where do I seem to get stuck? what is the growth opportunity that could come? So the same questions in this area. For me right now, I want to build in the coaching lane as a coach, trainer, and speaker, but I really want to focus on a certain type of clients. I don't want to say high-paying clients, no. I know that if I focus on the kind of clients that I want, which are leaders of leaders, then I'm going to be able to make my financial goals possible. So how much money do I want to make in this area? It's so important. In 2023, how much money do you want to make in this area, in your financial, what does financial well-being really mean to you? Because that's another thing. What does it really mean? Financial well-being, what does it mean? Is it just in the money? Is it just in the quality of clients, of thinking that you bring in this area? Is it in the systems that you put in place? What does it mean for you? And where do you seem to get unstuck? Because I realize that most often when we talk of financial well-being, we focus on the money. For me, it's not just on the money, it is the flow of wealth, the flow. Where is my money flowing to? Where am I reaching with? Who am I reaching with my finances? How fulfilled am I in this area? So that is those are the questions that are coming to my mind when I think about financial well-being, and what's the impact I want to make in my community, in my family, in this particular area. So defining this for ourselves really makes it so important. I know I've been receiving, Ade is working on this area. There's something you're doing about empowering Africans for wealth. I really don't know. Can you talk a bit about that? Let me see. I'm sure we'll benefit. Empowering. I hope we're still on. Can you hear me? Can everyone hear me? Let me confirm. If you can hear me, let me know. Just say something. Or give me a reaction. You can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. All right. So I couldn't hear for a while. I think my internet, my connection got frozen. Yeah.
I can hear you now. We can hear you now.
Okay, great. So what is your perspective on this? What are your goals in this area? Financial well-being. What's your thinking around this? Let's discuss. You can unmute yourself or raise your hand to share. Let me call on Wumi. I hope Wumi is still there. Wumi, are you there? Yes, Wumi, please share with us.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, I'm actually just lying down. I'm not feeling too well. So please, can you pass me by, Kate?
All right. Thank you for joining.
I'm just listening in. I'm not feeling too well.
Oh, okay. I pray you get better soon.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for joining. Okay, so Sylvester, please share with us in this area.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Can you give me a few minutes? I just came in. I want to join with my laptop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what is your most important goal in the area of, in this area of financial well-being? Please share with us. You can unmute yourself and share.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, I am just going to share my thoughts, just what I have. I'm not listening deep into this. I just, I've been rushing to get here early and just came in. Well, financial well-being for me basically means getting adequate returns from my efforts, you know, getting a satisfactory financial plough back. I don't know how to use it now, the financial term to use. Remuneration from the efforts that I make, you know, in this area of my life. We in John Maxwell's team, we make a lot of expenditure in trainers, attending conferences, and most of these things are involve traveling to other countries and spending hard currency. Yeah, if you come in here and you're not able to, one is not able to meet up financial returns adequate to sustain, you know, such annual expenditure, that's not a financial well-being. So I define my financial well-being as style and also have some gains out of it to support my other the other areas of my life, like family, accommodation, feeding, and things like that. So it's quite huge. So it's an area to work very hard on. Somebody said the reason to make money every day is because we spend money every day. As soon as you wake up from in the morning and get into your closet, you want to brush your mouth, you're spending money. Anything you do, you want to take your bed, you're spending money. Even when you sit down to pray, you're spending money because the desk you're sitting on is bought with money and is wearing, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of reasons for one to aspire to make money every day. So if my income does not support my lifestyle, you know, it means I'm not doing well in that area. So that's setting goals in that area involves ensuring that the returns I get from my expenditure of my time in this business sustains my lifestyle.
All right. Thank you for sharing. So where do I seem to get unstuck? Let me share with us where I seem to get unstuck in this area when it comes to really focusing on my, like I said, my most important goal in this area is making money from my coaching, my core area, which is coaching. And that's what I want to do in 2003, really expanding my income opportunities in this area, in the area of coaching. Okay, so where I seem to get unstuck is charging, where I seem to get stuck is charging the value, like the value I know my coaching is worth locally, like here in Nigeria, because most often people would, when I get pushback, oh, that's, you know, the dollar rate, you see what's happened, the economy and all that. So really getting clients who can pay that value is where I seem to get unstuck. And in my head, I'm thinking, should I tweak my fees because of the economy, is it okay to charge differently here and charge differently elsewhere? So that's where I seem to get stuck right now in this area. And what am I doing in this area right now? I just finished reading a book, which is called The Prosperous Coach. And I just ordered another book, which is The Trillion Dollar Coach. I saw that on a friend's post this morning, and immediately I said, oh, I just finished reading The Prosperous Coach, and I'm seeing The Trillion Dollar Coach. That's the next book I'm going to read, you know, to help me get out of my own way in this area, because I realized that I cannot work with so many clients. I can only work with a few clients in this area, and then I can spread I can help a lot of other people in different areas. So that's what I'm working on in this area of financial well-being, because I know that when I get value for what I'm worth, you know, I feel better, I feel more fulfilled. I know that, look, that I'm getting the value that I know I am worth. So let's share. What do you seem to get unstuck? Where do you seem to get stuck in this area, and what can you do? So let's share. This is a leader's priority, and we are learning, we are growing. So let me hear, what are you doing? Let's hear from each other. I'm glad we have some coaches.
Hey, did you see my copy?
What's
did you
that?
see my copy of $1 Trillion Coach? Did you see my copy of $1 Trillion Coach?
No, not your, it wasn't your copy. Did you post it?
No. I was showing you that.
Oh, no.
I'm reading what you are reading. Remember, I told you I want to be like you when I grow up. So if I'm reading what you are reading, I'm on the way.
Awesome. Great.
I just wanted to show you that the moment I'm reading what you are reading, I think one day I'm going to be just like you.
Okay, I think you're one step ahead because I haven't received my whole copy. So you're really one step ahead of me. I just ordered it. Awesome. Yes, I mean, this is an area that I believe we need to, you know, financial wealth. When you earn more, you can do so much more, because there's a lot we can do with more finances. Right. And I know Ade, I was saying in the beginning that there's a program that you're running. I've seen it about the, you know, empowering people with wealth. So
yes, Kate. Actually, when you said the financial well-being thing, what I start to think about is a friend of mine. This guy is 36 years old, and a few years ago, like 3-4 years ago, he wanted to kill himself. He's got all the money he had. He's got more money than he will need for a lifetime or 7 lifetimes. But he was considering suicide because he wasn't fulfilled. And I've seen a whole lot of people like that. So for me, how I start to think, my most important goal in this area of my life right now, because of what I learned from him, he turned things around. In fact, he's going to be around in January. He's touring Africa with me in January. We're going to go to 4 countries. But because of him and what I learned from him, I realized that at this point in my life, it might not be the same for everybody. But what I want to do is actually help enough other people, because I feel like what Zig Ziglar said, that if you can help enough other people get what they want, you are going to get what you want. So I'm on a roll. I'm going to be in Nigeria next week, and I expect to spend 2-3 weeks in Nigeria trying to add value and just adding something to people. And then I'm going to go to Kenya in December before I go back to the US, and then I'll be back in January. So what I feel is, at some point, you see, when I didn't have money, when I don't have access to money, I always think, okay, how am I going to get this? And then when I have friends that have a lot of money, I realize it's not really the money that makes the fulfillment for them. It's what we do for other people. So that's why I like your goal, Kate. When you said what you want to do to help other people and how to charge it, let me tell you, people who know your worth, they will pay for it, because if people understand that you are one of the very few people that the great John Maxwell, the #1 guru in the world, he doesn't like to be called that, but he is. Everybody said he is. But you are one of the ones that he look up to and actually say, you know what, this is one of the best people that we have in the world. And a lot of people in Nigeria might not know that. when they realize that, and when they know the wealth of knowledge that you have, they will pay what is right for your services. But you know what? There's going to be people that's not going to be able to pay a penny, but that you still have to impact. Last week, Sunday, I think I had the most amazing experience I've had in a long time, because I spoke to Rotaract Club. These are people. I felt like, you know what, I can do this for free all day long. And I told them, anytime I'm in Addis Ababa, I'm going to let you know, and I'm going to come to your meetings and have some value to them. So there'll be people who will pay the premium. There'll be people who cannot pay what you expect. But when we go after that one person, the impact is going to be tremendous. So I just want to say that I know we are all in different areas for this special goal. I think every one of us should take time to write it down. And I'm just going to suggest that if your goal in financial well-being includes adding value to other people, you are going to win no matter what. Thank you for allowing me to take over your time, Kate. Thank you.
All right, thank you for sharing, Ade. I'm not seeing any more hands raised, no hands. Oh, let's move on to the next area. That's so good. Add value. And like Zig Ziglar says, when we help enough people get what they want, we get what we want. I love that quote so much. Awesome. Now, business and career satisfaction. If we notice, all these areas, they are more about being who you are becoming. It's not about what you are really doing so much, because sometimes we feel that hard work is the only strategy for success. And we feel that working hard will bring us the success that we need, the satisfaction that we need. But I've come to realize that hard work is not really the strategy for success. It's not hard work that always, hard work is important, yes, but that is not really what brings about the success in life or satisfaction in life. There are so many people who are working really hard. They are achieving goals. They're making money, but they do not have satisfaction. So now, what is your most important goal in this area? So we answer the same questions in this area. Think about your business, your career, or whatever endeavor you are engaged in, to bring value in the world, to serve people in the world. So what is your most important goal in that area when it comes to, in this area, business, career, satisfaction? And where do you seem to get unstuck? Is it in building systems, building the systems that you need, to get your business on autopilot, to start running on auto? Is it about getting an assistant like Ade did, so he can focus on other areas that are more meaningful to him? So what can you do in 2023 to move you closer to business and career satisfaction? So answer the same questions. When we answer these questions authentically, we get to the answers. Yeah, so business, career satisfaction, what will you do? What is your most important goal? And then the sixth area, which is relationship with self and others. The relationship with self and others. So what are you going to do next year to build the most important relationships in your life? And what are the steps, what are the goals that you're going to set in this area? In each of these areas, I would like us to focus on one goal in each of these 6 areas we have mentioned. And when we focus on one goal in this area, of course, I know there are so many other things that we need to go, but we're focusing on one growth goal in each of this area. And then ask yourself the questions. Where are you getting unstuck? What is the opportunity? And how are you getting in your own way? Who can help you? What is the next best step you can take, and when will you take it? So that's where we are, relationship with self. And when I looked at this, why I said relationship with self, because you need to build a relationship with yourself first before you can build a good relationship with others. If you don't have a good relationship with yourself, you cannot have a good relationship with others. So it is important that we learn to relate well with ourselves, love you, yes, beyond loving you, like yourself, because yes, you can love yourself, but you don't like yourself. So build on that aspect first. Build a good relationship with yourself, and then you can now build relationships with others. You cannot give what you do not have, right? So if you don't have love for yourself, you can't love others. We need to be very intentional about that. What are you going to do to build relationship with yourself? Spending time with yourself, speaking well about yourself, putting in the right things into yourself, like how are you eating? How are you treating yourself? Self-care, that's so important. So make it a goal next year to engage in self-care. Self-care is not just in the activities, things that you do, like sometimes we say things that we do to, just make yourself happy, but really caring for yourself, And that's going to improve not just your relationship with you, but relationship with others. Okay, so I don't, if there's anyone, let's go around the room, or let me call someone to share. We want to contribute in this area, relationship with self and others. Tina, let me call her Tina. Tina, you're still there. Please share with us.
Thank you so much, Kate. I really love the perspectives that you've brought, and also Ade, for just sharing your heart. What do I say? Well, you said some very valuable things, which are great takeaways here. As we go into 2023, there's no better time than now to do a self-audit, what I call a self-audit. Whatever we thought we would achieve for 2022 that we did not, it's still not to date. Mm-hmm. And even if you did not achieve it, as we go into the new year, embrace yourself. Yes, love yourself. The one thing that I've been telling those in my circle and self-influence recently, which I just want to share, is that we need to be careful what we say to ourselves, because our self-talk is very important. Mm-hmm. So what are you saying to yourself? Positive things, are they negative things? Whether we like it or not, what we say to ourselves is what actually determines how far we can go, how far we can reach. So don't let your play tricks on you. Use positive words, surround yourself with positive people. And it may take a long time, yes, but remember, everybody's journey is different. You are on your own journey. Just stay focused.
Awesome. Thank you, Tina. That's so good. Yes, our minds are really working on our self-talk, and then being conscious of your mindset, what is really going on in your mind. That is so key. Thank you for sharing. So we have the 6 areas: your spiritual well-being, you have your physical and mental well-being, meaningful growth and development. we have financial well-being, and then you have the business and career satisfaction, then relationship with self and others. So if we take out time and really ask ourselves these questions, then you will see that you have a blueprint for 2023. And when we look at the different areas, there are activities you would, as you're thinking through, you will see that there are activities that you would need to do to improve yourself in this area. But I'm not focused on activity, because doing is important. Yeah, while doing is important, being is most important. So who are you becoming in each of these areas? And that is where we begin, but as we create our growth plan, for 2023. All right. So yes, so recommendations. What can we do differently? Find accountability partners. You can find partners in each of those areas, or you can find a partner that is, versatile in all those areas. That's good. So hold each other accountable, read widely and wisely. Yes, I'm adding wisely because it's not enough to read a bunch of stuff, but it's important to read the right stuff. So find the right material for time, something that is going to add value to you and that is necessary for your growth at that particular time. Like I said, I just ordered the $1 Trillion Coach, and I just finished reading the Prosperous Coach, because that's where I am growing and developing myself in that mindset, that shift of, getting the clients that I want to work in, the few clients that I want to work with. Of course, be in a growth-focused community, get a mentor, attend seminars, conferences, and workshops, and create a growth budget. That is so important. Create a growth budget. Yes, I know that's something that a lot of us do not do, but if we do that, if you put aside something every month, that you're going to use to grow, I'm telling you that is going to change a lot in your life as you become the best version of yourself. Because as we know, growth doesn't just happen. It has to be intentional. So be intentional about budgeting for your growth. Of course, we know the different benefits of growth helps us to be in the present and see the future. Growth helps us to play the infinite game and stay in the game long term, helps us to keep our teams and families connected, of course, and helps us to work smarter, not harder. And we can achieve more when everyone is growing, everyone around you is growing. Now, finally, let's design a life that we won't need to run away from. So this is about designing your life. If we focus on these 6 key areas, we design our lives around the 6 core areas, you see that you have more fulfillment and you have more satisfaction in your life. So I have some recommended resources that you can pick up. I have my year planning guide. It's an ebook that I developed that you can use. We have some of these questions are in the book and a lot of explanations too that you can use. You can pick up The Growing Life, my book. And if you don't have the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John C. Maxwell, that is something that you need to read or reread. You probably have read it, but you can pick it up and then read some chapters that are relevant to you right now at this time in your life. And I'm sure you're going to see new perspective and things that you can do differently. Of course, you can also get into a coaching conversation with me. I'm going to post the link, but this is not right. So you can get into a coaching. If you're on this call right now, maybe you're in the Zoom room, you can reach out and let's have a conversation. Let's talk about some of these questions. And I'm sure we would really learn and grow together. So there we are. Let's move on, because most of us know how to reach me, but those are my contact details. So you can reach me on that. Let me stop the share. Okay, so there we are right now. So let's look at questions, contributions, and thoughts. Slide. Oh yes, Ade. Ade, you were going to speak.
I think we're frozen, or is it me?
Can you hear me? I can hear you. Am I frozen? Can you hear me? Please confirm you can hear me.
I can hear you, Kate. I can hear you.
Okay, all right, great. Thank you. I think it's Ade's network side. Would you like to share something, contribute?
Yes, always. I will always want to share something or contribute. My only apology this afternoon is that I joined late. I did everything possible to get here early. I did it. Yeah, planning for the year is something that is uppermost in my mind. Most of the time I get it wrong, and I start making amendments middle of the year, and that doesn't work most of the time. Yeah, which area particularly do you want me to share? So I can.
What's the area that you want to focus on first as you plan?
Yeah, I would like to get my financial planning in order. You know, when I look at the 6 points, and each time I go through them, in fact, I have them on my board in my room. When I come across the financial well-being, I'm a bit stuck. I know that I have not gotten that. I don't have well-being in that area. So, but I am encouraged by what I did share. That you know, when people understand your value, they will pay. Yeah. So I'm also happy with what he shared about, you know, doing things that add value to people, even when it does not bring money. Yeah, like sharing with students, you know, future leaders. So those things they're almost in my mind. And again, the area of self-empathy, you know, when you put up a proposal and people are not showing up, to not say, oh, maybe I'm charging too much. Oh, maybe something is wrong with me. Maybe to just stick with that, you know, and keep going. A time will come when somebody who understands your value will, you know, get into your circuit, and with that you may be able to explore another set of another circle of individuals who probably will understand your value. So I am working hard on that area of financial well-being, and that's an area I would like to study more, understand more, and actually get going well, so that I can actually have that financial well-being. So that's all I want to know.
All right, thank you for sharing, Sly. So I think that's something we can, I'm sure we can have a conversation on that one. So you and I were talking, so let's find time and have a conversation around that area.
Okay, let's have time this week. I'm going to call you.
Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
Great. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining us once again on the Leaders Priority Meetup. So this is it. We've come to the end of today's meetup, and we look forward to next month. It's actually going to be on December 1st. December 1st, that's when we have our December meetup, and the last one for the year. And we'll be having a guest or two on that one. So I look forward to seeing you December 1st once again. And if you'd like to be a host of this platform, because that's something, anyway, I'll talk about that in December. But for next year, we're going to have different people hosting the meetups. So if you'd like to be a host of the Leaders Priority Meetup, yes, please reach out to me and let's talk about it. But I'll be sharing more on that in December. Once again, I'm so happy you're here with me. Thank you for all the great share contributions and thoughts around this area that is so key to our development. And I know 2023 is going to be amazing for all of us. Have a great rest of the day and week. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.